Hillary Clinton is having a very, very bad October. There are many reasons why the campaign is in a freefall collapse, unlike anything we have ever seen. The campaign has been rocked by numerous scandals revealed by WikiLeaks and Project Veritas action. This could be the reason why Hillary has canceled almost all events from now until Election Day, except for private fundraisers. I've compiled a list of reasons as to why Hillary Clinton's campaign is now collapsing. 1. Hillary Clinton has ordered the deaths or ruined the lives of everybody who seems to come against her. Julian Assange's lawyer is dead. Seth Rich and Joe Montano, both of whom appeared to know about the DNC's attempts to rig the nomination for Hillary, are dead. Lawyer Sean Lucas, who was working on the DNC investigation, dead. Victor Thorne, who was working on a new book outlining a huge Clinton scandal, dead. UN official John Ash, just one day before he was set to testify against Hillary Clinton and the DNC, dead. It seems like there are a lot of people who were going to expose Hillary, but never got the chance to do so. Could that be the reason why Julian Assange was sweating throughout his entire press conference when everybody expected a grand release of the Clinton files?
Comes about as a result of the efforts of a great many people and institutions, common allies, love.
Number 2, Hillary Clinton's campaign seems to have made disparaging comments for just about every people group in the United States, including traditional Democratic strongholds. In one WikiLeaks, Hillary's campaign places blacks and Muslims at the bottom of the economic success ladder and likens them to, quote, professional never-do-wells, unquote. The campaign also claims that Latinos are needy. Yikes. It seemed there is some Clinton hostility towards 3 of the strongest Democratic constituencies in the United States. And it only gets worse for Hillary and her campaign as WikiLeaks continues to release small batches with savory bits of information. In one round, the campaign openly mocks Roman Catholics and evangelical Christians. While evangelicals already detest Hillary Clinton, Roman Catholics are a Democrat stronghold. So the fact that the communications director, Jen Palmieri, mocked them isn't sitting well with Catholic leaders. Number 4. Hillary Clinton's campaign was caught on tape joking about molesting women repeatedly and getting away with it. The man in the video seems to think that he wouldn't be fired for such an offense. In this viral video produced by Project Veritas Action, he also jokes about getting away with fraud and states that, quote, the bar of acceptable conduct on this campaign is pretty low. He is absolutely right about that. Hillary's campaign has now been exposed multiple times as colluding with the New York Times, CNN, and Politico on stories that are pro-Hillary. WikiLeaks has released astonishing reports that these media outlets actually contact Hillary's campaign to make sure that they are saying and reporting only what is approved by Hillary and her communications manager, Jen Palmieri. We know that many forms of media are under Clinton control. Even sites like factcheck.org and Snopes have shown a stunning bias towards Clinton. These are supposed to be sites dedicated to the truth, but instead, they are part of the Hillary propaganda machine. Here we see evidence of a recent headline that appears to be a regurgitation of a Hillary memo. It is apparent that the Clinton campaign is directing a vast majority of the news agency outlets that we see on television and read in the newspapers and see online. Number 6. It is now known that Hillary's campaign did not leak the Trump tapes. The tape was leaked by NBC, a well-known Hillary supporter. Now, several outlets are reporting that NBC planned to use the audio to influence the debate and the election. If this doesn't show media collusion with Hillary's campaign, then I don't know what does. According to some sources, the missing link here is likely failed NBC television host Campbell Brown and her husband Dan Senor, who were responsible for release of the Trump tape. Not unsurprisingly, Dan Senor is a leading strategist and top advisor for Paul Ryan. Number 7. Hillary staffers claim that it's okay to commit fraud and throw away voter registration ballots that are Republican and independent. You would think this is ridiculous, considering that liberals have for years led the effort to get out the vote, with people like Ellen DeGeneres and Lena Dunham. But not really. They'll trick you into registering to vote, and then they'll tear up or burn your card in a pyre. Arguably, one of the worst moments for Hillary Clinton was her explanation about why she said during one of her many paid speeches to Wall Street that it's okay to have a private position and a public position that may be entirely different. This is popularly known as lying. Yet after being exposed, Hillary tried desperately to redeem herself with the famous Honest Abe explanation, which is now considered one of the worst responses to a question in modern debate history.
Of Secretary Clinton's paid speeches, which she has refused to release, and one line in particular in which you, Secretary Clinton, purportedly say you need both a public and private position on certain issues. So, 2 from Virginia asks, is it okay for politicians to be two-faced? Is it acceptable for a politician to have a private stance on issues? Secretary Clinton, well, your 2 minutes.
Right. As I recall, that was something I said about Abraham Lincoln after having seen the wonderful Steven Spielberg movie called Lincoln. It was a master class watching President Lincoln.
Number 9. CNN has been caught numerous times steering the election for Hillary, whether it is through Clinton surrogates like Brooke Baldwin and Ana Navarro. It's almost embarrassing to watch CNN anymore because it is so biased. And yet, when you thought it couldn't get any worse, it did. Donna Brazile, a CNN contributor and then vice chair of the DNC, clearly leaked questions to the Clinton campaign before a debate between Hillary and Bernie Sanders. Even the Young Turks blasted the Clinton campaign on this one. Number 10, Julian Assange suggested back in the summer of 2016 that Hillary Clinton had provided military-grade weaponry to ISIS. Even pro-Hillary website Snopes.com was unable to debunk this one with another of their dubious sources. Snopes was forced to admit that Julian Assange did indeed say in July that leaked emails would paint a, quote, rich picture of Hillary Clinton's hawkish tendencies in Libya. Assange also made a curious connection that ISIS was the beneficiary of weapons from Libya. If a leak comes out, it could tie together Benghazi, the deaths of the Americans there, and Hillary's providing arms to ISIS. Number 11. In a Project Veritas leak, Democratic do-nothing Senator Russ Feingold said that Hillary Clinton will issue an executive order on gun control. But not just any action. The organizer of the event featuring Russ Feingold went on to explain exactly what this action would entail. Quote, Hillary wants to shut it down. If we can get guns away from everyone in this country, she'll close loopholes and get rid of assault weapons. She will get rid of being able to buy, unlimited bullets. She's going to make all that stop, unquote. Of course, this conflicts with what Hillary just said in the second debate, that she's for the Second Amendment.
And I just want to quickly say,
very quickly,
I respect the Second Amendment.
You may believe that Jeffrey Epstein is a story in the past, that Bill Clinton knew him but no longer associates with him. That is incorrect. There are allegations coming out now that Bill and Hillary never severed ties with their best friend. It is well known that Bill used Epstein's private jet between 2001 and 2003 to fly around, raising money. It is also known that Bill Clinton made dozens of visits to Epstein's Caribbean island from 2002 through 2005. Bill Clinton praised Epstein for his, quote, insights and generosity, unquote, after using his private jet several times. The two were very close friends and still are. Epstein's crimes are disgusting, as are Prince Andrew's, who is a part of the circle, as are Bill Clinton's. And yet, there has been almost no coverage about the new book, released in October by James Patterson called Filthy Rich, which outlines Clinton's relationship with Epstein. Number 13. Hillary Clinton claims to be the hero of middle-class and working-class women, even posting a tweet entitled, quote, women have the power to stop Trump, unquote. Now, a hack WikiLeaks reveals that Hillary, Bill, and her campaign sought to undermine and destroy the reputation of Juanita Broaddrick. The hypocrisy in this is quite astounding. But there was something about Juanita Broaddrick that was very threatening to Hillary. While the other accusers of Bill alleged some type of sexual assault, Broaddrick's claims went a bit further. Hillary sought to destroy her reputation, and to hide the truth from the public. That doesn't sound like a hero of women that Hillary has painted herself out to be. Number 14. Hillary Clinton and her entire campaign are blaming everything about WikiLeaks on the Russians and telling the American public that the Russians do not want Hillary Clinton to be president. This is merely a tactic. It isn't the truth. Several WikiLeaks show that Hillary has praised Vladimir Putin, that she was happy to be among his, quote, inner sanctum, and that the two have had a very positive relationship. So why the sudden change, Hillary? Number 15. Hillary proves in WikiLeaks that she is basically carrying out the agenda of Wall Street and the big banks. In one email, she encourages Wall Street to get involved in the political process of America. And in another, she encourages rich bankers to influence politics, that huge sums of Wall Street money can buy, influence, and potentially change the course of politics. She's not for the American people. She's for the big banks. Number 16. A WikiLeaks exposes and confirms that Barack Obama not only knew about Hillary Clinton's private server, he actually communicated with her on it.
President Obama speaking out on 60 Minutes about Hillary Clinton's email controversy.
Did you know about Hillary Clinton's use of private email server?
No.
While she was Secretary of State?
No.
Now it's pretty well confirmed that he received a number of them from her, so isn't that a flat-out lie?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's you know, there are a lot of instances in which President Obama was asked about whether or not he knew about Hillary Clinton's email server. I'm not sure what the timeline is. I can't answer that concretely, and, you know, there's a lot that goes into it. But yes, this certainly does show that President Obama and Hillary Clinton had communication on this private email server.
And yet, with all of these crimes, lies, leaks, murders, and cover-ups, Hillary still has a secret weapon. And that is vulnerable feminists. Her goal is to make women as angry at Donald Trump as possible, so that they turn out to the polls in droves for her. She wants to create as many feminists as possible, using Donald Trump as bait, so that all the vulnerable, insecure feminists will vote for her, one of the most corrupt politicians in the world. The WikiLeaks files have proved that. This is a message directly to the women of America. I want to know how you plan to sleep at night after you vote for her.